Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Good morning. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to the August 5th meeting of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Kalo has our dog from the kennel this morning.
Hey, come on. Bring 3 dogs. Come here, guys. Let's go. Come here, look that way. Look at that. There we go. This week, our featured dog is a 3-year-old male, American Boxer mix. He has just a great personality and disposition, and we really need you to stop by. He's been available for adoption since July 11th, and he's looking for a great home. Fantastic dog. He's great with all the people here. And if he's not quite your type of dog, we have 33 others that really need homes. But this guy's a great guy, and he's looking for a forever place. So stop by our kennel and see what we've got for you. Come on, Rocco. Let's go.
A good dog. Okay, Madam Clerk.
We have a proclamation proclaiming August as Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Okay, I'll read it. In the matter of proclaiming August 2015 as Child Support Awareness Month throughout Lorain County, whereas the Lorain County Board of Commissioners wholeheartedly agrees that child support is an essential element in providing family stability, helping children grow up safe and healthy, and providing children with the opportunity for a better life. And whereas working partnerships among government agencies, parents, legislators, attorneys, judges, healthcare professionals, advocates, employers, and other organizations and community groups are critical to developing an effective child support program. Whereas the Lorain County Board of Commissioners agrees with the importance of education and outreach as part of a customer service philosophy and as part of efforts to help encourage compliance, the court-ordered obligations for child support, and whereas Lorain County Child Support Enforcement Agency strives to provide good and efficient customer service to participants in nearly 31,000 child support cases. And whereas in order for Lorain County to continue to build upon its success in child support, continued education, outreach, and partnership development are required. Now therefore be it resolved by the Lorain County Board of Commissioners, we declare the month of August 2015 as Child Support Awareness Month in Lorain County and encourage all citizens to help ensure that the children of Lorain County receive the financial support they deserve. Signed by Lori Kokoski, Matt Lundy, and Ted Kalo. And we have Rula here, our new person for child support.
Thank you. On behalf of Lorain County Child Support Enforcement Agency, we want to say thank you for this proclamation. And also for dedicating the month of August as Child Support Awareness Month, as the entire state of Ohio does also recognize this month as for that purpose. Currently, our agency has been handling, for this year, we're handling over 31,000 cases. The state of Ohio handles approximately over 950,000 cases, so to get an understanding of how much we're actually handling. And as of May of this year, we've brought in and collected about a little over $4.3 million worth of support. So our employees are working very hard, and they will be continuing to do so, and they're very dedicated to their jobs. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. As a just a point for people that tune into us. CSA is a component agency of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners that's assigned under the Job and Family Service Department, Mary Kokoski. So you have been committed to doing those things. They do a great job over there. Mary Lou does a great job as the director over the umbrella organizations. And we are currently recruiting for a new CSEA director. So little cheap plug there, but we're in the recruitment process right now. You guys do wonderful work over there, so necessary.
Under Resolutions Number 1, Investments,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Appropriations,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Transfers,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Advances and repayments,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Requisitions,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Travel,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Bills,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorraine County Commissioners.
Mr. Cortez?
Thank you, Madam Commissioner. I do actually have a number of personnel issues, potential hires in facilities management, job and family services, Golden Acres. I am also pleased to tell you I'm in receipt of the final E991 contract, which I'd like to go over with you. The union voted and ratified that contract, and we need to look it over and take some action ourselves. Also, an update on potential sale and purchase of real estate and ongoing legal issues. That's a lot of stuff. All of those topics are allowable under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussion, so I'd ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting, we go into executive session and we discuss those issues that I've defined. Thank you.
Approve and waive the reading of the minutes of July 21st, 22nd, and 29th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Under sanitary, approve and enter into civil engineering contract with K.E. McCartney and Associates in the amount of $628,500 for the Pheasant Run Sewer Improvement and Lift Station.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Cordez, are we totally all in at this point?
Commissioners, there is an issue
Mr. Innes.
that has come up that I have to discuss with you. We can go ahead and approve this contract. We may not want. You can pass the resolution. You're all right with that. But
Actually, I think this may come under potential imminent litigation.
Oh, absolutely.
There recently has the possibility of a legal matter interfering with continuation of this has been brought up, and we need to brief on that. But I would suggest we do this. We're not going to execute. I'm hopeful that we'll find a way to get past that. But I want to try to run some concurrent processes.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'll brief you more. I don't want to, in the event that that litigation moves forward, I don't want to prejudice that by saying something out here.
So approve the resolution, but we're not going to execute.
I thought I said that.
Okay, just getting it clarified. You were just saying things around it, so, okay.
I apologize.
Thank you.
Commissioner. Thank you.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Under the Sheriff, approve and enter an agreement with Lexipol, California, in the amount of $10,650 for the first-year subscription for the law enforcement policy manual and daily training bulletins to be paid from the contract services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Congratulations to the Commissioners, the Land Bank, the Port Authority. We had a great time yesterday. All of us were out, and we got to be out in the field a bit, something that doesn't happen often, and Commissioner Kokoski got to play with some big equipment. I think it was a fine day for Lorain County. We're back in business. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be in Elyria with a similar event because we're getting ready to knock down quite a few dilapidated homes in the city of Elyria, too. You guys looked great yesterday. Ted even showed up without his wingtips on to walk through the yard, so I was impressed. But I think it was a good day for Lorain County, so thank you very much for all that we've done there.
A lot of happy neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of happy neighbors.
That's
A
what it's
lot
about.
happy, you know, it was amazing how many came out, wasn't it?
Yep.
They sat on the porch, they came over, talked to us, and then there was a few other houses on the block that were going, you need to take this house down, that house down, and we were going through our list, and we weren't surprised to find that several they were pointing out are on the targeted list for that neighborhood improvement. There's many fine residents living in those neighborhoods that are really struggling to keep up their property. They lose hope sometimes. They invest, they plant flowers, they tend the lawn, and only to see decay right next door or 2 houses down. So I think not only are we improving the neighborhood, we're reinstilling hope in those folks that they can have a better community to live in. And as I've told many of them when we were out there, this is, you know, phase one of a multi-phase plan. We have to go back and we have to decide how to green those lots, whether they become natural areas when we let trees grow and get a little green space, or we side yard them, or we find a way of doing some infill housing. All those things need to be done. We just cannot walk away and leave all these empty lots speckled all through these neighborhoods, because that invites a different element that is just as discouraging as a dilapidated home.
I'd like for you to take it a little step farther, that the land bank not just taking down these houses is also a tool for us to recoup some back taxes. We are going to go after people that do have money to pay for this demolition, and also enable us to get taxes. We got $75,000 this past week.
Well, you know, we did. You know, a lot of times people don't completely understand the power of the regulations of the land bank. It's probably one of the best pieces of legislation that's come out of the Ohio House in a long time. Not that there wasn't good legislation while you were down there, Commissioner
Well, he
Lundy.
was down there.
He was there.
He was there.
There wasn't a lot, but
It wasn't a lot, but-
we did work on the land bank,
Yeah.
and Peter Uvagi out of Toledo, who I think now is the county administrator.
Just retired. Peter just retired, yes.
Yeah. Just an amazing man, and he wanted to make sure that the land bank was gonna be available in lots of counties, not just those that were host to, you know, Cleveland and things like that, so.
Now it's all counties.
Yeah,
Yep.
now it's all counties.
Yeah, I mean, they reopened it so that the ones that didn't form could form now. And there's some regional ones too, which I think should be exciting for those smaller communities. But the legislation has been tweaked, and it looks really, really, on the surface to be just, we're gonna go in and knock down houses. But if you give it a close reading, it really gives us the power to go in and reinvent communities and reestablish communities. The most powerful thing is that we can get in line on any tax foreclosure, and we can cleanse that property. If in fact it doesn't get picked up through the tax foreclosure, it now has a place to go. It can go to the land bank. Before, the treasurer was reluctant to send some of those properties into this tax foreclosure, a very expensive process, and at the end of the day, there may not have been somebody who wanted the property when it went to the sales tax auction, property tax auction. And so those things lingered and lingered and lingered. Now we're aggressively pushing them to the back tax foreclosure process, and we're putting the land bank and the port authority as an interested party, so that if nobody shows up to claim the property or pay the back dues, it reverts. At that point, we're going to work on that property and reintroduce that property back into the community productively, or we're going to demo that property and then try to determine what to do with the green space thereafter. Case in point was the old Corey building on 28th and Pearl Street. It had lingered as a zombie property for a number of years. The bank wasn't foreclosing on it. Taxes weren't being paid, and there was an arrangement with somebody that was renting space in there to pay the utilities. So the building was being used, but it wasn't any productive use to the tax base and or to the lending community. We picked that property up right now. We're working on it. We're going to freshen the building a bit. We're going to do some grounds work around there. We're going to put it back into use. There was some fear that we took it that we were going to tear it down, and you know, I assured people that the very last thing we need is another vacant lot on Pearl Street right off of 28th. That just isn't what we have in mind for that property. So we're working on that, and more of those are going to come up, and we're going to be successful with them. The one you're talking about, Commissioner Kokoski, was a small. It had been a physician's office, a few dentists, and there was some problems with the property. It fell into decay. We went after that property because it had back taxes of about $60,000, $63,000 on it. And we had sanitized the owner, to come in and pay the back taxes, and now we're working to try to get them to bring the building up to code, be a productive neighbor there on Abbey Avenue. There's a really vibrant corridor over there, and this building's sitting there, with a tree growing out of the side of it, and it's not conducive to what we want to see in that neighborhood. We probably have brought in several hundreds of thousands of dollars vis-a-vis that whole strategy. And as you know, the prosecutor's office, the treasurer, and the land bank did a great job working to get the Old Spring Valley folks to come in and pay several hundreds of thousands on their taxes, or we were going to be standing there holding up their project.
He was in the paper today trying to get his taxes lowered at the Board of Revision.
Well, I can't fault somebody for using the mechanisms that are provided for in the
Better
Ohio
than not paying
Revised
your
Code.
taxes at all, right?
But yes, and I would encourage people that if you feel that your situation isn't right with your property, to avail yourself to that process. Nothing wrong with that. There is something wrong with spending 7, 8, 9 years not paying taxes. We have quite a few speculators in Lorain County that buy property, and they have actually been buying it at tax auctions or mortgage auctions in the past, and they simply don't pay the taxes on it. They're speculating that possibly the property will go up in value at the time of sale. Either the purchaser or the seller just before the sale will pay the taxes, so it sits for years. Well, a lot of that speculation went bust in 2007, and those properties are not worth anything where the taxes are, and they just continue to linger and linger. We are now not only going after the back taxes, but vis-a-vis the lien process, we're going after other assets that those folks may have. There are many people with really, really beautiful houses in Lorain County that have rental properties in some of the older neighborhoods that have let them fall into decay and haven't paid the taxes. Pay the taxes on their personal property because it's a really nice home. We're going to move the liens to that nice home. So they need to come in, do what's right for this community, and live up to their responsibilities, or we're going to go make them do so.
And most of that benefit goes to our local schools, developmental disabilities, mental health.
All the services
college,
here.
right, that's
And
where
let me
those
point out
dollars
this
go.
way, it drives up the cost of those services for the people who do the right thing.
Right.
So, we're trying to alleviate that burden on those folks. And another thing that needs to be combated, especially in some of the inner cities, is all of these LLCs that own vast amounts of properties and simply don't respond. We're going to pierce those LLCs, and we're going to drive past that, and we're going to get the people that's supposed to pay. It's just going to take them time. It's Chris Panowski's done a great job at the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor's office in general has done a great job with us. The treasurer's office, the foreclosures over at the courts have been very receptive. They're very agreeable to working with us. It really is a total effort by everybody that touches this. But the community has to be patient. These things do not move quickly. There's lots of legal remedies for these folks to stall us. And I don't want to say legal remedies to fix things. It's legal remedies not to have to fix things and take more time before we can get to the end of the road. So it was really exciting yesterday. I appreciate you bringing up how we're getting the back taxes paid. It goes into the school district. This one was in the Elyria School District, so Elyria School District probably picked up $50,000 of that back tax bill, and certainly that helps them.
It's a teacher almost.
Oh, of course, and it was a few $100,000 on the golf course, and that was in Elyria City Schools too. But those are just two top of my head. There's been others in other communities that have come in. I remember the one we sent them a notice that we're going to take them into the tax foreclosure, and they came in that week and paid $100,000 in back taxes, just like that. They just weren't paying because nobody was bothering them.
Well, I'll make Tom Jama happy his first week as superintendent with that additional revenue.
I think the $100,000 was in Midville School
Maybe,
District.
okay. Well,
Thanks,
the other
Commissioner.
two were in the Leary district,
Yes,
right?
yes, they were in Elyria. So we're back out there, and you'll see our signs around, and hopefully there'll be more opportunities to go out and meet the community with the people in the neighborhood.
Yep.
So I have someone, thank you.
Mr. Innes?
I have several matters of imminent litigation that I would like to discuss in executive session.
Commissioners report.
Congratulations to Ashley and Eric, who had their baby Cole this week. Ron is now a grandfather.
Oh, good.
He's a happy guy.
Old man.
Now he's an old man now, right? Goodwill is having an open house at their new location at 145 Keep Court in Elyria. It's going to be from 4 to 6 o'clock. They have been a mainstay of job training and employment for citizens of Lorain County since their founding in 1933. They currently employ 140-plus persons in their 7 stores and offices, and last year, their workforce, their mission services, worked with over 2,400 people, and 400 people were placed in jobs throughout Lorain County. So they do a great work. They're not just stores, but they also help people in our community and give back.
Is that the one they were doing sponsorships for?
No,
No?
no, that's their fundraiser in October. This is just an open house to see their new facility.
Our Growth Partnership friends at the college have supported you in a
Right.
sponsorship out there too, so.
Yeah, I got the email. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate you asking for me. And I was just going to talk about the land bank too, but I think we covered all that, so end of my report.
You got it. Actually, one more thing, the land bank, I've got to look up an address. Someone sent me a message yesterday on one of those shared stories about wanting to know if a house next door to them was scheduled for demolition.
Did you bring
So
the address, or?
I've got it in my phone,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
but they
we'll-
sent me a message, so I do
we'll
want
take a
to
look.
check on that.
You know, I know the paper reported that, there was 90. Those are probably 90 going to happen this year. We're well in excess, I think, of about 140
Right.
on the list. It continues to grow. One more comment, since you brought up that additional house commissioner. We're seeing some savings in the demolition cost. We're getting very aggressive quotes on the demolition cost, which will give us the ability to stretch out the OFA money a little further. We'll have a better idea probably by September or October, but I think we're going to be able to add additional demos under the OFA dollars, thus saving the local dollars that we have available. And of course, hopefully, we'll see some initiative by our federal legislators to figure out what the next piece of the funding puzzle should be, because giving you demo money is really, really great. If you want to call it mortgage foreclosure money, I don't care what they call it, now they need to give us some build money.
Because we were also supposed to be putting aprons in and sidewalks replacement when we do the demo, and I didn't see that happening.
You know, yesterday I was a little discouraged. I did have a talk with Mr. Metzger on that property. We had that green lot on the side of that house we just tore down. And as soon as I got there and pulled into the alley, I could see that the sidewalk and the curb cut hadn't been taken out and replaced. It was it was very, very poor condition. We're going back and pulling out that contract. That should have been done. It may have been one of those fall winter demos. Just because the weather's bad doesn't mean they can't demo a house. They do demo a bunch of them through the season. So I'm not sure that it got a complete inspection. It could have been snow on the ground. It could have been, I don't know what happened, but I wasn't happy, and that's going to be corrected. And I've ordered a reinspection of all the properties that we
Good.
demoed to make sure that we're getting what we pay for. It's in the bid specs to do that. There's no sense leaving broken concrete and curb cuts, and that doesn't really take the element, it doesn't take the green space where I want it to go, nor where you want it to go. We're supposed to clean and improve the 4 corners of the entire property.
Right.
And I will ensure that gets taken care of.
Thank you.
Right, also, great event, Black River Landing, once again, they're rocking on the river. You haven't been down there, you gotta stop down there, doing a great job. It's just like reunion week, and so many people from out of the community I'm talking to, it's just amazing what it's doing for the downtown
Like
area.
$5 or something?
Yep,
Cheap.
yeah, cheap. I actually bought the season pass, so.
Oh,
And then congratulations, St. Peter's and Lorain had their annual festival. Very nice turnout. Spent Saturday night there with my grandchildren. I'm getting old
'Cause
like
you're old
Ron.
too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, Chad Parsons, Dave Newsom, Tim Mahalsick from Sheffield Township. Great job as always. Their 9th annual National Night Out celebration, packed house. On top of that, they're celebrating the 200th birthday of all the Sheffields. Commissioner Lundy and I were there. And then congratulations to Angel Arroyo and the city of Lorain, Mayor Rittenauer, and all the law enforcement participated, and Lorain had its 2nd annual National Night Out. So it was a busy week, so a lot of good things
You
happening.
seem to do an awful lot of partying.
Now,
Do
Oh,
you
work
call that
away.
work? Do you
Yeah,
call
I'm
that
just a
work?
friendly guy, I like to talk.
Oh, you weren't saying that was work or anything, was it?
No, I wasn't saying word, what'd you do, it's a report. God, gorgeous.
Well, congratulations to the Sheffields celebrating their bicentennial, 200 years. The years go by quickly, but they had a great event over on Detroit Road near the old Sheffield Village. town hall there. They've now put in place a monument. It's right there on 254. I always describe it as the location where the Sheffield Village Police sit to get the speeders coming down 254. So stop by there, look at this monument. It's beautiful black marble and just very well done. And Professor Charles Herdendorf, just an amazing man. If you're a fan of history, the research and the work that he does on his publications for history about the Sheffields is just amazing. And I guess he's going to compile it into a book, which is going to be very interesting, but just fascinating work, and got to stop by and see the monument. Also, the folks of the St. Jude neighborhood, where I live here in Elyria, had their Block Watch cookout. They do that every single year, and for neighborhoods, if you're thinking about working on a Block Watch, you certainly want to get in touch with Carol Caruso and that whole group over there at St. Jude, because they certainly know how to run a very effective Block Watch, and it certainly helps to make the neighborhood a lot safer. And I understand they formed it when I moved into the neighborhood to make it a little safer. But also had the opportunity to attend an event for Joel Arredondo, just a real class guy. Really enjoy working with the president of council over there, doing a great job. The land bank, boy, it doesn't get any better than that. It just really doesn't. And when you see these neighbors come out and the big smiles on their faces, and we all know what it's like when you're taking care of your yard and you're investing in your property, and even when you just have a neighbor that doesn't paint their home, it upsets you, or doesn't cut their grass. But this is some of the worst case scenarios, obviously, with abandoned properties. And just to see everybody light up and realize that their property values are going up now because of pulling these things down and getting rid of some of the elements that they certainly don't want in their neighborhood. The National Night Out, great turnout in Lorain for that on Pearl, real strong turnout. I was telling the Lorain SWAT team when they were displaying their new SWAT vehicle that if that thing pulls up in your driveway, you know that you're having a bad day.
The beast.
But yeah, that thing will definitely get you to the front door.
Yeah.
No question, through the front door too, if need be. But a successful event there, and also Sheffield Township having their National Night Out there at St. Lad's, and then had the opportunity to briefly catch up with Mayor Jensen in Avon. He had a nice event over there at Tom's Country Place, and the mayor over there doing a good job, and we definitely enjoy working with him in the community of Avon.
Let me add something. I forgot that in our correspondence we did get, and probably in the other morning, and I saw Teresa and the staff going crazy trying to timestamp all the letters from residents in support of the Nexus pipeline. We've had enough people out who have been against it in community. How many did we finally end up having, Teresa?
That would have made 200 and something. But
Over
going
200.
through it, it's not just where it's going through. It's Avon Lake. It's
right.
people
Right.
that aren't involved. But yes.
But we did receive a lot of communications in regards to the job creation, generating affordable electricity. So,
Are you
just
going
to
to
bring
be
it up.
announcing that we don't have a meeting next week?
You can
Or-
if you'd like. Yeah.
The date is August 12th. We will not be meeting for our commissioners' meeting. Are we going to do it later in the day? Or
Well, you know,
cancel it
Commissioner,
altogether? Do we have enough
Cancel it.
meetings?
I think it's I
Yes.
think the best was to cancel it.
Okay.
Just so people know why we're canceling it, another great event in Lorain County is going to happen that has a lot to do with economic development and employment for our residents, and that is the launch of the heavy-duty truck line. up in-
F-650, F-750s, and
You know, it's continued work for the plant. The UAW continues to work with Ford Motor Company to ensure employability here. It's been a struggle on both sides of the issue, but you know, it's pleasing to know we have work here. I'd like to see additional work there in a different line, but it's important to those workers that are still maintaining jobs there, and you've been invited to come out and go to the plant and watch the launch and be part of that event, and I think that's significant and warrants your attention.
Right. Absolutely. The important part is these are jobs coming from Mexico to Lorain County.
Correct. They're coming home.
Yep.
Importing instead of exporting.
That's
That's what I like to see.
Well, you know, our community is much like a microcosm of the bigger whole. We have to export. We can't continue to import ourselves. We have to export our products, and people got to want them. And 50% of our plus of our residents leave Lorain County for job opportunities. And the fewer of them that leave and the more of them that work in the community here, the more vibrant our community will be. But we're part of the regional approach, we have to be, and there's always going to be people that leave to go to employment. But the number has gotten much larger over the last 2 decades, and we need to close that gap. We need to become a recipient community rather than a donor community.
And I can tell you as a former Avon Lake City Councilman, there's a lot of eggs in one basket over there at Ford and for Avon Lake and Sheffield Village and Sheffield Lake. That's it's really important for that business to be successful.
Board correspondence?
I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Public comment?
Anyone? Seeing none, I move we go into executive session as outlined by the administrator and assistant county prosecutor.
Second.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.